Lord, we thank you for the opportunity we have to meet and discuss just the logistics surrounding the volunteers with the children's program. And Lord, we're excited about this. It's hard to believe that it's right here upon us, but we look forward to you and what you're going to do, and pray that you will just use us to your glory. And pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
So, Sherry, why don't you start by just giving us a quick rundown of what um, just kind of maybe give us a quick rundown of the schedule. When a volunteer is going to show up, what's their schedule going to roughly look like, from Thursday through Saturday afternoon?
Okay, I can do that. Well, first I wanted to say thank you to all the volunteers because without you, we couldn't do this. And it's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be a bit of a rough weekend because we're dealing with little people, and but it's also going to be a rewarding weekend, I think, in a lot of ways. And so just to say thank you, and thank you for the opportunity that you have taken to come and work with Teaching Diligently and partner with us in this. A basic schedule would be you would need to be in the children's program area on Thursday night for a meeting that we will have. It will be at 7:30. The meeting will take probably about an hour, and then we will have about half an hour to an hour of setup and learning the big group games that we're going to be playing. So that's Thursday night. Then you get to go to bed, take a quick nap all night long, and get up. And we need to be back in the children's program area at probably 8:30 and in the morning on Friday morning. When you get to the grade level group rooms, you guys will have probably a quick meeting just to talk about what's going to happen and make sure you understand what's going on. And at 8:45, we open the doors and parents start to bring their children in to teach them diligently for the children's program. From there, your small group room leader will be, or your room leader for your age group will bring the children to you, and you will start to meet them. And the goal for this is for you guys to sit them down on the floor with you, and you to be on the floor with them. So they're coming in, they're sitting down, you're sitting down, and you're going to start working on names and learning names. This is on Friday morning, so just make sure that you are learning these young people's names. They will have on T-shirts. The T-shirts will most likely be the same T-shirt both days. So you have to learn their names based on who they are, not based on what they're wearing. Some of them will be easier to learn than others. So you will sit down with your small group. It will probably take 15 to 20 minutes. So after you've been working on names and as children are joining your group, have a game in mind that you can sit on the floor, not duck, duck, goose, that everyone is sitting on the floor and you guys can play together. It could be something like, doggy, doggy, where's your bone? Bring a little button with you. Bring a pen in with you and pass it along. Who has the bone? Or it could be, which I know that's for the little kids. You have to think of age-appropriate games for your age group. That's something I would recommend doing at the very beginning of the event. When you sit down with your small group and you have all or most of your children there, say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise my hand, and every time I raise my hand, you are to come running to me and stand right in front of me. Or bring a stuffed animal or some kind of object that would be your group's mascot. And when the kids are there, you can raise up your little mascot and say, I'm right here, and that way they know where you are, they know what their mascot is, and they can come to you. The children will come to you, and they will be in your small group the entire weekend. Then from there, you will go to a main meeting in the main area, and that will be a review of what the rules are. They will most likely then you'll go back to your grade level area and play some grade level games. And then from there, we will go back and have a large session, a group session. The group session most of our things last between 15 and 20 minutes. So it's not super long. We try to keep the kids active. And then there may be a large group game. Most likely, then you'll go back to your group session area, and you'll probably then sit down and have like a small group discussion time based on what the teaching was on. Anyway, that's kind of how the schedule goes. So you'll do times with your group together as a team, and then you'll have times together in the large group. Once in a while, you will have large group games. And all of this will always be told to you what's going to happen next through the grade level group leader. So the grade level group leader would be Linda Evans in the case of first and second grade. Micaiah Wartak is our grade level group leader for third through sixth. K4 and K5. And then Thomas Cordona is going to be our grade level group leader for third through sixth grade. Children should be playing whatever games you're playing, but they should also be watching for their parents and listening for their names to be called. So as parents come to pick up their children, they might say, Sarah, and Sarah looks up and she sees her mom and dad. I always had the children in my group look at my eyes and say, that's my mom, before she got up and left. And you can do that. You know, if you've got 10, 12, 15 kids in your group, they're gonna look at you and say, that's my mom. And you say, okay, go with your mom. But that way you know they're not just getting up to go do whatever they want to do. They're looking at your eyes and telling you, I'm leaving. If you start it in the very, very first time, then it's going to go smoothly the rest of the time, and they're going to know that's your expectation, that you want them to look at your eyes and say, my mom's here, or my dad's here, or, you know, Miss Sherry, I'm leaving, or whatever they want to say. Then lunch comes after that. Eat fast and wash your hands. Again, we will have lunch provided, and you will have to eat lunch really, really quickly. Drop off for the children is at 12:45. So the sessions start again at 1. So you have to be back to your small group area, your grade level area, by 12:35. So then you go back to the large group area. So again, it's kind of like the morning thing. Then you have teaching time in the main area, back to your grade level areas for small group discussion. There will be bathroom breaks coinciding with the small group discussion, and then back to the main area for a large group game. We will do like skits and fun songs. Sometimes we'll have teaching time, and then back to grade level areas for a small group review time of the teaching time. And at that time, you can review the verse with the whole group and the concepts of what's being taught. Then you'll have grade level group games, another large group area for the end of the day, and then back to the grade level area for pickup. And once again, I have small group leaders must sit together with their kids and wait until the children in their group are called. You are the small group leader. Whatever they are doing, it's your job to keep your small group with you at all times. So whatever your little people are doing, you need to be doing it too. If they are playing a game, you need to be engaged. Now, for you young men who are volunteering, be aware that if you're working with 3rd through 6th grade, some of them are going to be your height, your weight, your whatever, but you're also playing with littler kids. Don't get super involved in the games to the point that you're going to cause harm to someone else because you're competitive. Just don't do it, all right? Show love to the little people and be engaged, be a part of what they're doing, but don't be overzealous. If we're working on the verse together as a group, or you're working on a large group, then make sure you're doing what they're doing. Some people don't love to sing, but we're making a joyful noise. And please make a joyful noise with the kids and sing with them. If they are cheering for their team, cheer with them. Don't be the one who stands back there with your arms crossed and just watches, because this is not your job this weekend. This weekend is to be engaged and to be a part of these children's lives and investing in them by sometimes going outside of yourself and doing things you don't normally do. If you see somebody else's small group leader who's really struggling with something and they're sitting right in front of you and their kids are sitting right in front of you, lean over, tap the kid on the shoulder and say, listen, it's time to listen right now. Let's be quiet. But be thinking about questions that you can talk with the kids about, or that you can ask the kids, again, that are age appropriate. And if nothing else, if you are at a total loss of something to do, share your testimony during these small group times. And you can even, if you want to, ask the other kids, the kids in your group, has there been a time in your life where you've accepted Jesus as your Savior and Lord of your life? The sessions at the beginning will deal with what is sin, what does sin look like in my life? And those are good questions to talk with kids about. Well, then the next questions will the next sessions throughout the day and throughout the weekend will go on to talk about how is sin taken care of? How is our sin taken care of? And then once our sin is taken care of through the blood of Christ, what is my response to sin? How do I look at sin as a follower of Christ? And how does being a follower of Christ, how does loving God look in my life? Is it just I do what I'm supposed to do because my parents tell me to do it, or is it because I am doing what I do because I love Jesus? So that's kind of an idea of what our theme is this year for the teaching time. So you can get an idea of questions that you might want to ask.
Mhm.
There is no registered nurse in the children's program. So you have to make sure that the children are staying hydrated, but you don't have to go and drink water every 5 minutes, and neither do the children in your small group. Because if that's the case, you're going to spend a lot of time standing outside the bathroom waiting for children to go to the bathroom. We have another young lady who is in charge of our check-in system, and she will check all of the kids in and out. And then her name is Sarah Feely. She does an excellent job of running the help desk and the children's program, and she can answer any questions that anybody has. She is also there for a wayward child or a child who is really, really struggling with what we can deem homesickness. It's really not, but a lot of it's just selfishness. She will sit down there at the table with them, and just the kids will sit there, and she's got coloring books, and she will have them sit with her. Some kids just need downtime. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that Sarah's there, and you're always welcome to send a child to sit with her for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and she can bring them back to your small group, or you can send a helper to come and help or come and get them. So parents are going to bring their children into the program area, and they're going to line up with their family to check in the children. This is done electronically at our help desk. It's a very quick system, and then we will send the children to their grade level areas. So the families will walk their children to the grade level areas where the grade level leader will meet them. The grade level leader will then send them to a specific small group leader. No cell phones out ever. That has to do with you as a small group leader, and that has to do with the students as well, the children as well. Make sure your cell phones are put away. Never should you be on your phone. And the only people who are allowed to pull their phones out would be our grade level leaders, and then Sarah Seeley if she needs to pull hers out to call someone. Yes, the children will have their names on their backs. They will also have their phone numbers listed on their backs, but it is not your place to call the parent. It is the grade level leader's place to call the parent. Also, another rule in the children's program is that we do not allow any food or outside drink. Once in a great while, a child will bring a water bottle, but we don't allow any food or outside drink because of allergy issues. We have some children who carry EpiPens with them, some children who carry 2 or 3 EpiPens with them. It is vitally important that no one is eating or drinking in the children's program without specific permission. Some of the children have special needs. Their parents at drop-off will come in and talk to you the first time they are dropped off. Should say, here's the disability my child has, and here is how we help them in our home. And these are parents that I have talked to personally, or they will talk to Sarah on Thursday night about their children's special needs. Just be aware of what can best help these children, and don't be frustrated if they don't follow along with everybody else. You have to help them in a gentle, loving way, bring them along with you, and do what you guys are doing. If a child looks like they are super overwhelmed with everything going on, and there's a big group game going on, have them sit off to the side. Say, hey, do you want to watch? Or can you sit over here with the grade level leader, and maybe he'll let you help him keep score? Or just give them an idea, something they can do to be helpful, instead of trying to make them be involved in something that really is truly overwhelming to them. When the child arrives in your small group, so that very first time, and then every single time they come back, so this will be in the morning, in the afternoon, and then on Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, make sure that the child has a name tag on. It will be on their back, or it should be on their back. We try to make sure they do it as they come in to check in, but we miss it sometimes. So if they don't have a name tag on, make sure that we get that on them. Again, it has their name and it has emergency contact information, so it's immediately accessible if we need it. No, they may not wear their name tags on their shirt, on the front of their shirt. It has to be on their back, because then they don't pick at it, peel at it, all the fun things that they do, because they forget about it, which is good. The other thing that the child should have on is an orange wristband. The orange wristband will have their last name written in Sharpie on it. So when they leave the children's program, we always check to make sure that their last name matches with the last name of the person who is picking them up. And they're not allowed to leave the program area with anyone else who does not have that last name written on their wristband.
So basically, parents and child will have a wristband, and it'll have.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. And that will be a solid orange wristband. So that's what the wristbands look like for the children's program. At the first drop-off, the children will also receive a second wristband. And I believe that's given out by you, the small group leader. And your grade level leader will give you that wristband. That second wristband is just a color. And that colored wristband will let you know that they are in the K4, K5 area, which is purple. And I think first and second is red, and then third through sixth is blue. So everyone will have their bright orange wristband saying they're in the children's program, and then the other one will be that other wristband that will tell them what grade, what level they're in, just in case they get separated and we don't know where to put them. Sure. Also on their name tag, there is a place, a small place on the name tag that has a colored dot on it. And that colored dot also will give you a clue as to what grade level they're in. Some group leaders will bring a Sharpie with them and write their name on the wristband, and that way the kids know, oh, I'm in Miss Jen's group, or I'm in, somebody's group. You're welcome to do that if you want to. Bathrooms are not inside of the children's program area. So they are not dedicated bathrooms to the children. But you are in charge of these kids, and we are in charge of making sure that these children are safe. So when you are taking them to the bathroom, the first thing you need to remember is you are not in the children's program area, and they may not do anything but stay behind you in line, and you need to keep control of your group of young people. Now, the good news is, in Rogers, I have about 15, I think, volunteers that are teen volunteers that are coming to the children's program and helping in the children's program.
Good.
So you're paired with those volunteers. Now, that being said, if they are teen volunteers, they are not allowed to take children to the bathroom because they are teenagers and they are underage, and they also count as children. If you are over the age of 18, you would be the one that would be allowed to take, you are allowed to take your small group leader to your small group to the bathroom, but you are not allowed to ever step into the bathroom if you are under 18 years old to help a child. And if that's the case, you would grab Becca Mierta. She's another one of our Teach Them Diligently team. And again, you will meet all of these people at our Thursday night meeting. Becca will be there to walk in and help a little person if they need help. But they also will need the small group leader to be standing at the door with the door open to the bathroom so that they can have their eyes on Becca. We just need to make sure that we always maintain a level of accountability when we're dealing with bathroom needs. And even with, and this is mostly little, even with the little 4 and 5 year olds, the guys should never step into the bathroom to help a little boy. It always needs to be a female that steps in, and it needs to be a female adult. So just make sure that if you need someone to go with you, never should you take a child alone to the bathroom. That's why taking them in a small group is best. Becca, again, will be around to help with if we need someone to take a child to the bathroom and it's not during the bathroom break, she will be there to help with that. Sarah Seeley can help with that too if needed. It's best to keep her at the help desk, but these people are both willing and able to do that. So back to you and your small group standing outside of the area and looking at the, going to the bathroom. keep the kids against the wall. There are sessions going on around us. So you may be out there during a session change, and at that time there may be people that want to use the bathroom. I would love to say we can have dedicated bathrooms, but we cannot. What I have always done as a small group leader and as a mom, if I have to send my child into the bathroom and my child is too old to go into the women's bathroom, but too young to go in, really too young to go by themselves into the men's bathroom, I will stand outside. First, I send my child in. They look and see if there are feet underneath that door, underneath any of the stalls. And then they come out and they say, I see 2 pair of legs or whatever. So then they come back out and we wait until those people leave the bathroom. And I will stand guard at the door and say, my child needs to go to the bathroom and there's an underage child in there, please let them go. And that's what I've done even at our events. And that's what our small group leaders are expected to do. So just stand outside the bathroom. If someone goes to go in there, just say, excuse me, ma'am, there are children in here. Would you please just go to find another bathroom? And some people are very rude and won't listen well. And some people are very gracious and say, I totally understand. I'm glad you're doing this. But we want to make sure that we try to keep the safety of the children, safe. While you have your kids against the wall, play, Simon says, play the quiet game. So find games that are good for them to stand against the wall. Don't have them do jumping jacks and sit-ups and push-ups and whatever while they're standing there because they're going to get crazy and crazy. But do have them do something that you're keeping them active and engaged, but you can still keep your eyes on everybody else. The quiet game is probably one of the best. I Spy is a really good game because there's all kinds of things that you can spy while you stand against the wall. But again, keep them there in line the whole time while you're trying to manage everything else. So do you have any other questions?
Volunteers will all also be wearing pre-assigned shirts?
That is correct.
Okay.
We have shirts that we will give them out, and then they can wear those one day or both days. So it's a shirt. They get one shirt. Or if you wanted to do, with Bob Jones, we've always had them do, they've worn a BJ shirt one day and their leader shirt the other.
Perfect.
It might be best if they wear their leader shirt the first day.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Right, wear the other. But if they want to wear their leader shirt twice, that's fine too.
Okay.
Oh, I know one thing, just attire, like in general, what do you like to see them wearing? Jeans, khakis, shorts, what do you normally see in your volunteers?
Jeans are probably best, just because you're up and down and all over the place, and that way we don't have to worry about.
Sherry, maybe you can cover just a little bit of the housing and kind of how that works while they're there.
Okay.
Housing and meals.
Yeah, housing and meals.
I think in both Rogers and Waco, you will be at the Embassy Suite. So for Thursday night, Ryan, they're going to check in with you because you're going to have all of the cards for that.
Yep.
So when you check in, you will have everybody's room card. You will, you move into your room and you have the room until, is it Saturday morning?
Yeah, Saturday morning, I hope.
Saturday morning. So Friday, yeah. So Friday or Saturday morning, you need to make sure before you leave your hotel room that you have everything packed up and, put wherever it needs to be.
Put in your vehicle or wherever.
Right,
Yep.
right. But Embassy Suites provides breakfast, so you can get up and have your continental breakfast at the Embassy Suites. And they have refrigerators in the room.
Okay.
They have microwaves in the room, so microwave popcorn is always a good thing. They have coffee makers, and I guess that's something else that we can remember is that we do have a testimony that we are showing to the staff at the event, no matter which event we're at. But it's been really neat. I've had personal testimony from like 4 different staff members about how grateful people are and how thankful they are, and then how they would say how well behaved the kids are. So some of them will just stand there with their mouths open watching kids eat at breakfast with their families because they're so amazed that kids sit still and they listen and they don't cause huge messes. And it's just a neat thing. So we do have a testimony that we are maintaining the food.
So just real quickly, tell us about the catering, just kind of how that generally works, so people can know what to expect.
Basically, we have our volunteer coordinator, Coe. Everyone will be sending their information into her. She also provides or does all of the food for us. So she says how many people are coming, and then she just says then she'll go ahead and order from whoever. She tries to do a variety of things. So we might have Zoe's Kitchen, we might have Moe's, we might have, it might be a taco bar, she just tries to make it a variety of food so that so we can have something from it.
Sure. And that would just be set up in a designated area that will be told where it is?
Sometimes it's in a hotel room, and sometimes it's in another room within the convention center.
When the children's program is not running, do volunteers have the option to go through the exhibit hall?
Sure.
Just to check it out for themselves?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Aaron, you got anything else? I think
we're good. I think this is a great synopsis on what the program's going to look like, gives people a better idea of how they can prepare.
Sure.
And obviously the first time in Rogers, it'll just kind of be working out the kinks and getting a feel of how the whole program goes. And then I expect it to be pretty smooth sailing after that. And I personally plan on kind of being a floater between both the teen and the children's program, seeing where there's weaknesses and seeing if I, as representative from Teen Missions, can kind of encourage those people or fill in weakness. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. That's great.
well, cool. Well, I know we're super excited to do all this. Our Bible school students are really, I think most of them are pretty pumped up to be coming and getting a break from classes and everything here to go take a road trip and have some fun.